A very good evening to you wherever you happen to be watching. Welcome to Curl NB Live and our presentation of Draw 8 of the 2023 New Brunswick Under 21 Curling Championships. We have a potential final in store tonight on the girls' side. It's Team Jenna Campbell against Team Melody Forsythe. Campbell, runner-up in last year's event, looking to go one position better. Team Forsythe, the 2020 champion, looking to get back atop the hill for the first time in 3 years. I'm Sean Thompson. I'm pleased to be one of your guides through the evening of curling, and I'm joined with Jeff Stewart. And Jeff, two strong teams. We saw Campbell unbeaten until just this morning, and Forsythe, a formidable former champion, recovering from a couple of early stumbles.
That's true. They seem to be getting stronger as the day has played today, moving along, going in the right direction, shall we say. Campbell did bounce back. Actually, no, my apologies. They had the afternoon off as Team Brewer gave them a couple of lessons this morning. But they're rested and ready to win this. As you said, they were runner-up last year. A couple of girls on this team are aging out and really want to win this championship this year. I'm going to take a minute right off the top, though, Sean, and say thank you very much for everything you've done this weekend for us here at Thistle and for Curling NB. As you know, your voice in curling is distinct, and we enjoy your presentation and your enthusiasm of this game. So welcome to yourself as well, and thank you very much.
You're quite welcome, Jeff. I hoping to make it through the seventh game in a little more than 48 hours. Good center guard there by Team Campbell. Melody Forsythe will.
Yeah, she's choosing the strategy we've talked about a couple times this weekend now. It's early in the game. I want to make the easy shots as soon as possible, stay away from the hard ones. Most teams will do that to loosen up and build that confidence that they need right away. So they're going to go to the open side here instead of going around the middle and try to make this first end as simple as possible.
They do have that backing, trying to nail on, and they do stick around the back of the house.
We'll probably see Team Campbell hit this rock because they're going to take the same approach to the first end as well. Not take any big risks, getting comfortable, it's final, possible jitters. We don't want anybody too nervous or approach to the game. So that's their first attack here by being defensive.
Team Campbell 5-1 so far in this triple knockout tournament. Wins in order 10-5 over Maya Pugsley, 6-4 over Paige Brewer, 11-4 their first meeting with Team Forsythe, 9-3 over Sarah Gaines, 7-0 last night in their second meeting with Team Forsythe, before falling to Paige Brewer in a rematch this morning, 9-7. You see that hit, and Team Forsythe hoping to respond in kind. Team Forsythe 4-2 so far in this event, one loss away from elimination. Wins over Sarah Gaines 9-6, Paige Brewer 7-2, Sarah Gaines again 8-3, and Paige Brewer again 8-5. The two losses, as we mentioned, coming against Campbell. Pretty clean house. Team Campbell now looking to come in, use that center guard.
It's been a long weekend for these teams. As you mentioned, 6 games so far. One factor that could come into play here tonight, Sean, is the fact that Team Campbell got the afternoon off, got a chance to rest. It's sort of a two-edged sword, though. I mean, the other team, as they continue to play and to keep the momentum going after a win this afternoon. But, there's 10 ends of play, a lot of sweeping. They could become a little tired towards the end of the game, so it could be a factor.
And they will get this rock about half buried. Chance for Team Forsythe just to blast it away.
You got it? Okay. Was that the only one? Yep.
Team Forsythe with the hammer in first end. They won the last shot draw. Deanna McDonald coming out of the hack here. Her second shot in this opening end. Trying to urge the curl. No avail.
Oh, that's a bit of a slip up right there, Sean. I mean, this could give Campbell a chance to get one half under and potentially work their way towards the steal. That rock was interesting. I kind of thought it might curl a little bit more. We saw this sheet today, and it was coming in there on that side pretty well, wasn't it? So.
I think. We watched this sheet in the afternoon game featuring what could have been a boys' final. Should Team Stewart have won that game, they didn't. Team Marine won to force a decider. A definitive final game as this Team Campbell draw from Olivia Winter will just creep into the paint, it looks like, full 12-foot.
Perfect spot.
Not quite full 12-foot, as you can see from our overhead, and we apologize for sort of the washed-out appearance of the overhead.
Well, it's a little bit of TSA and Curl TV experimenting here this weekend with this new technology we're playing with. So we're trying to bring an overhead camera view into our broadcast, and we're getting the overhead camera, and we've got a bit of a picture. It'd be just nice to be nice and clear. So we'll have to work on that. Something to take away from this event.
Carly Smith with the peel. As I started to mention, the other game on ice is for the Junior Men's Championship of New Brunswick. A decider. Both teams have 2 losses. One of them is going to get the hardware. It'll either be Team Timothy Marine or Team James Stewart. Climactic evening here at TSA. Team Campbell can also clinch the title in this triple knockout event with a win today. And Team Forsythe, their third loss to Team Campbell in this event. Of course, if Team Forsythe should win, we'll be back here for a final game tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Another one coming into the house, not quite on center line, a double peel chance for Team Forsythe.
Well, it's not an easy double peel.
Are they ever?
Well, yeah. But this particular one, in order to get rid of both red rocks, the yellow's going to stay in the middle, I think. She may be thinking there's another option here, which is to run one of these straight back on the shot rock and get rid of both of those. Didn't turn out that way.
Single peel opens up the shot stone, though. Janet Campbell getting ready for her first skip stone. Still thinking steel mode. They are looking to put up the guard. The last time we saw Team Campbell in our feature game was last night, the second match against Team Forsythe. And it was one of those games where Campbell's forced some shooting lights out. Team Forsythe could only have bad luck, if any at all.
True indeed. Well, that one started off in the wrong direction for Forsythe, as I believe they were short on a draw against 2 in the second end, and were suddenly down 4-0. And that's how that game started. So that got them into a scrambling and aggressive mode that didn't turn out too well. I think it was over in 6 ends, wasn't it?
It was, and this is Jenna Campbell's first skip stone. It is hanging a bit out there. It will come fully in the paint. does cover up, but perhaps a little deep. Melody Forsythe taking a look with her first.
Yes, I don't think this was the plan for starting the first end for Forsythe team, looking at these three red rocks immediately here. So her goal would be to make contact with the shot rock, I think. Whether she gets them both out or not, she at least gets it off the button. And also to stick her own yellow rock on the rings, which I think they've had trouble doing here so far. Maybe caught a little bit on the straight side there that they weren't expecting. Maybe they didn't see that in practice.
Melody Forsythe back for her first with hammer. And the first end we've regularly seen as a feeling out process now has an extra urgency for the 2020 champion skip. And we'll get one move behind the other. It's now Campbell sitting only one, a chance to replace that guard though.
Well, that was a great shot, actually, because she got number 2 out of it, and it's partially covered. And you can see that Team Campbell is looking for a way to get rid of it. A little bit scary, though. I mean, if it over curls, you can take the front off, and Melody will have a chance for 2 suddenly. So,
well, even if you nose hit the top red, I think the way the angles work out, they'd probably end up jamming on shot stone.
can you show us that line?
Well, as much as I can.
You're right. Right
Ding,
on.
ding, ding.
So that's the reason she wants to make that go away. But she's seen a few rocks down in this spot. Maybe she'll be able to hold that from curling. Once it gets to the center line, I think it's going to take off a bit.
Jenna Campbell's second without hammer, and we're seeing the front end trying to coax it across. Carly Smith calling line. They need some more curl, and they just nose hit shot stone. And if Forsythe can throw the exact same shot, it's a deuce. Update from the boys' final, kind of. They finished one end, they blanked it. Marine and Stewart, zeros apiece, starting 2. Jenna Campbell has done what she can. Melody Forsythe, you'll see shortly entering the picture. The final stone in the first end. Deanna McDonald, Kaylee Smith on it straight away. They have to be careful not to overcurl and hit their own. They gotta get the hit. Bingo. And it is 2 points for Melody Forsythe and an early 2-0 lead after one end.
Isn't it funny how it turned around there quickly on 2 good shots by Melody and a fortunate miss. So that was quite an interesting turn of events in a short few moments.
Forsythe 2, Campbell 0. Second end to come. This is the New Brunswick Junior Curling Championships on the Curl NB Live YouTube stream. Sean Thompson alongside Jeff Stewart. We're happy of all your sports viewing choices this evening. You choose to spend a Sunday evening with us. Hopefully a warm beverage of your choice as well. Wherever you happen to be, we wish you good tidings.
These days, though, people might have several screens open at the same time, Sean. It's potential they're muting us, actually, and just watching the curling game. We should keep that in mind. We'll have to be extra entertaining, though, so that they do listen in and want to tune out the football game tonight. They can watch football next week, right?
Actually, no, they can't.
See how much of a football fan I am.
It's the Pro Bowl week next week, and they've turned it into a series of flag football games in an effort so that players might take it seriously
Oh, I see.
and not try to beg off.
So are there extra prizes or something that they're playing for next week?
A few $1,000s.
Okay.
They all get a free trip to Vegas, too.
And obviously some great flags to play with.
Second end underway. Campbell with the hammer. Rebecca Watson's first. And you'll bear with us a moment. We are having some more technical issues. Just with our camera at one end, the home end.
Just deactivate, activate.
You'll bear with us. We are experiencing just some brief technical difficulties. We hope to be back on in a moment. The technical difficulties being the camera turned off. But we are back. You are seeing the action. Again, a fairly open end so far. That was Kaylee Smith's second stone. And this is Rebecca Watson. She'll be off to the Canada Winter Games next month, as well as the National U18 Championships. Trips to Timmins and PEI in the offing. Hit little roll in the house. They'll take that. As you now see Deanna McDonald in the hack. McDonald, the relative newbie to this long-running Forsythe team. She joined the squad in 2018. Oh, sorry, that's Campbell. Izzy Patterson in the hack. Oh my, it has been a long day, folks. We'll try again in the fourth end with the bios. Just give up at this point. Another hit and roll. And now it's Deanna McDonald in the hack.
Well, Sean, you really do a nice job at capturing these players' bios and giving us those stats and rundowns across the board. I mean, it's you're all in on this, and we appreciate it. I can understand after this amount of broadcasting, a lot of games in a short amount of time. We're ready for whatever you have.
I'm thinking even during March Madness, after the commentators do 4 games in a day, they have a day off. Maybe attend a couple of press conferences. But that's neither here nor there. Olivia Winter. Among the sweepers, it is Team Campbell with the hammer. Just letting this go. You can see the yellow rock not quite in the house. They're trying to use that as a center guard, and we'll just rub a little bit and split it onto the rings. Forsythe looking at the hit opportunity. Carly Smith back, just cleaning the stone. First mate stone in N5. Open hit. They're looking for a little roll if they can manage it. Instead, they only get about half the rock. They'll roll it
Out.
just out of the house. They're having a look. Both skips having a look.
I think they're looking at the sideline to see if that rock
And
is still in play.
they did just kick it out. But the Forsythe rock did spill onto the rings. So now Team Campbell, Olivia Winter with a quiet hit. Heavy sweeping, and oh, you'll see as it crossed the hog line, well-picked stone. And we don't mean in terms of selection.
Yes, there's been a number of picks on the ice this weekend at most unfortunate times, it seems, but even at any time is unfortunate.
Well, yeah, is there ever a good time to have a pick?
Yeah, that's not to say that the ice is actually dirty. A lot of this stuff comes from the soft rubber on the bottom of the player's shoes. As grippers are used and worn and fairly aggressive sweeping, they tend to maybe leave a little bit of a rubber residue on the ice sometimes. Now, so players should be diligent about cleaning those spots. So, but when I throw my rock down the ice, I tend to look very closely at the rock path that I'm going to be throwing my rock on. And people would say if they watch my game that I often stop, go back, and pick up a bit of dirt. You really have to watch those spots.
Carly Smith stone catching the back of the button. Olivia Winter back for her second mate stone. Izzy Patterson, Rebecca Watson. Hard on the broom.
This is a
Off
fairly
and on.
This is a fairly straight spot with not a lot of excessive curl here.
And they will just come to the nose of the Forsythe shot stone. Giving Wendy a bit of a ketchup stain on her face. Sure, the advertisers love this.
Here comes the mustard. Let's
Yeah, hit and roll the call as Melody Forsythe goes down for her team's first. Kaylee Smith, Deanna McDonald, ready on the broom as necessary. Forsythe squaring herself up. Hit and roll with her first. And this stone crosses the hog, no risk of jamming on their own. They'll get the hit on the nose. Wide open, and Campbell now with the exact same shot. Drenna Campbell out of the Capital Winter Club in Fredericton. Will come down. They'll just clean off the slide path, considering what happened to Winter's second stone. Another glance. Make sure you're lined up properly. And Jenna Campbell will deliver her first in two. Quiet wait. Looking to grab the curl. Winter hard on the broom. You'll see them enter the top of your picture. Hit and just a quiet roll. A bit more into the open. And it looks like Melody Forsythe will have a similar shot. Again, trying to roll behind center, make life as difficult as possible for Campbell, and take the deuce off the board.
She had two perfect shots in the first end, and if she can make that roll and be another perfect one and set up a possible steal, I think that'll cause some frustration for Team Campbell in this early part of the game.
Well, Campbell does have the hammer, but it's Melody Forsythe with her second stone coming out. Kaylee, Deanna McDonald taking turns. They need to get this to bend a little, get the roll. They do, and they just overroll a little. There is still the hit there for one. I think that yellow rock up top is still biting.
Yes, it's important for her to stay here in this shot. So it's mostly open. Important thing, just don't throw it too hard. Put a little curl into it. Let it come in there nicely. This is another good spot of the ice that will curl in on any straw, but it'll hold fairly straight on a normal weight hit.
Jenna Campbell. Final stone. Second end. Izzy Pedersen, Rebecca Watson standing by. They're both on it hard now. Both on it hard and fast.
Line looks really good, Sean. Good shot.
Right on the beak. And it will be one red for Team Campbell. Team Forsythe getting the hammer back with a 2-1 lead after two ends. You're watching the 2023 New Brunswick Junior Curling Championship live on the Curl NB Live YouTube channel. And while we have a moment, we will give you an update on sheet 6. It's not an updated score because they blanked another one. Team Stewart, Team Marine locked in a 0-0 tie. Just getting the third end underway on sheet 6. So a rare game. We see points on the board in both the first two ends in our feature game. Campbell and Forsythe, what do you make of that?
Well, that was my expectation all weekend. These girls' teams and in fact all the kids' teams have been very aggressive about play. They got used to the ice after the first game or two, and were very comfortable in attacking the other team with some good come-around shots and such. So ice speed is good, best at the start of the game. It's perfect right now. We're into the third end. Get those corner guards, center line guards, and go around. That is a common way of play these days, and these kids are very good at it. So I expect more rocks in play this end, Sean.
Well, this first stone just coming in a little deep.
Yeah, that's at the top of the 4 foot. So Melody with the lead and the hammer will make sure to remove this rock, and she's perfectly comfortable playing an open, clean end here if she wants.
Forsythe with the hammer back. Hit and roll over to the side. And Team Campbell asking for the hit herself, Rebecca Watson, to deliver this second lead stone.
Just taking a quick look at the coaches for both Team Campbell and Forsythe sitting at the back of the sheet. Lorna Campbell, our all-star coach this year, voted on by her peers with her nice purple blanket back there to keep her warm. Tim looks a little bit wintry over there with that large parka he's got. But
Tim Forsythe,
yes,
coach of Team Forsythe.
Yes, he looked comfortable, and I can tell you, knowing Tim, he likes being right out there in the action. So.
And just a slight nudge instead of a full-on hit. Opportunity for Forsythe now to split the house.
Definitely. On the open side, keep those rocks apart. I mentioned those coaches because of our new coaching interaction rule, which we should take a moment to mention during this game. We have number times this weekend, so this is a new rule for Curling Canada in which the coaches can actively participate in the game by calling an interaction once per end per coach. And that interaction is 30 to 60 seconds in length and does not require a timeout. It does not require stoppage of clock time. The clock keeps going. There are no timeouts actually at the junior level. This is a new pilot program by Curling Canada, adopted by MDCA.
All the provincial and territorial associations.
That's
in fact.
correct. That's right. And they're asking the associations to try this rule, and as they've laid it down, they've added an extra 5 minutes on the clock for a 10-end game. And these are an attempt to develop our players into better strategists. And we know they can execute shots when we tell them what to do. But or ask them or participate in
Hard sweeping, trying to keep the line here.
Oh goodness, they've been caught on that same curly spot once again.
And another opportunity for Team Forsythe now.
That looked to me like just a little bit lightly thrown rock. And here on this ice surface at Thistle this year and in this tournament, if you're a little bit light on the weight, it will certainly curl. You can make it go a little bit straighter with some good speed, but that one was quite light.
Trying to figure out what side they want right now, and they will take one of those coaches' interactions.
Yeah, so this is an opportunity, and I'm a big fan of this one, Sean, because now you can actually participate in the game and help that young developing curler with some input, not necessarily a direction, but some coaching interaction about what to do in this particular situation. Previous to this, we had a single timeout, or two of them actually per game, and one at an extra end. And that was all the interaction you were permitted with your team, other than post-game review. And this rule is so much better. The curlers have a benefit of some guidance in a situation like this that will they'll have a chance to log that in their experience and their memory banks for the next time. So this is a great program.
The call is a high draw to the right-hand side as we're watching. You can see the sweepers and the rock enter your picture. Perhaps not curling as much as they expected.
My guess,
bring it back just behind tee.
My guess is that Coach Forsythe offered the opportunity, shall we say, to Melody to say, why don't you draw to the same side, because they seem to be having a little bit of a problem over there right now, and their precision of hitting may be not quite as good as they would expect on the other side of the ice. So that would be the choice there, and why he would have suggested that side. So in this case, they probably Coach Campbell had a chance as well to remind the girls, keep your weight up out there, and because the ice is curling softly. And we saw that one. I think it had a little bit more weight, and I think they used a little bit more ice to take that shot.
And that leaves Forsythe sitting one. Looking at the hit and roll, as you can see on our dodgy overhead.
Hey, it's better than the one we had last year.
Fair enough.
Just experimenting with the technology here to see if we can take the club cameras and feed them into this live stream broadcast. We're sitting upstairs here at the Thistle St. Andrews Curling Club, and our TVs are downstairs. So we needed a little bit of a helper to kind of get that signal up here, and it's I could say my feedback from this weekend was spend a little bit more money on the quality of the device to bring that up here. So
Well, Carly Smith does get the hit and roll without jamming on the back yellow. The 3 rocks in the rings are all Forsythe yellow. Campbell looking at a hit and roll of her own.
yeah, there's a great opportunity here for Team Campbell to make a double and roll over towards the other rock. And if they can do that, they'll put those rocks closer together and potentially be able to get out of this end with no more than a 2. If they're extremely lucky, they'll be able to get a miss from the other team or perhaps roll towards the other shot rock and group them together for another double. This is close.
Get 1, get 2.
Great shot.
Will they get the roll out? Yes. Will the shooter stick around? Just. Are they shot stone? No. And so again, Team Forsythe tried to split the rings here, with Carly Smith delivering. Smith, the older sister. Well thrown, well swept.
Well placed.
Right on the tee line. Forsythe again sitting 2. Campbell again calling the takeout. Hit and roll over.
Well, it certainly seems like Team Forsythe is ready to play this evening, Sean. They've executed almost every shot pretty well so far, I'd say.
Well, they've had 2 win or go home games already today. What's a third? Sweepers off and on. They do need it to curl, though. Need it to curl a little more. Oh, they just fish it out. Lose the shooter, but they do make the shot. Melody trying to replace it. Carly Smith's second. There they come. Kaylee Smith, Deanna McDonald. Off and on. Looks hot, Jeff.
Yes, it's certainly speeding down the center line. They haven't touched this, and they're standing and watching it go now. So they're praying and hoping it finds one of those rubber spots to slow
Well,
down.
Jenna Campbell will take it all the way back of the 12-foot, offering Campbell an opportunity to maybe put the pressure on for a steal. Jenna Campbell indicating perhaps a freeze or a hit and roll on that shot stone.
Yeah, it's a tricky choice here. I think if they try to play a freeze, which is probably the hardest shot and has a little bit of risk to it, but if placed correctly, right on against that yellow rock, they're going to be in great position to at least force one for Team Forsythe. They have to be diligent to the fact that they may just push that yellow a little bit, leaving a red double, and that's the risky part of this shot.
Well, it is the first skip stone of the third end. Jenna Campbell from the Capital Winter Club in Fredericton. And it is Izzy Patterson, Rebecca Watson on it quickly.
She looks a little light to me.
They're really pushing those brooms. Need to get it down, need to get it at least tee. Real hard work from the sweepers will get it top of the 12-foot. Still, Forsythe with shot rock.
Well, it did do one good job, is outcount the back yellow. So 3 shouldn't be in play here, but we'll see what happens on this shot. She's drawing to the opposite side again, I think.
Yes, indeed. Melody Forsythe out of Curl Moncton. Getting her rock. Squaring herself up with the delivery of her first skip stone with the hammer in 3. Sweepers just keeping it clean. The pace is there. The pace is all there. You see Campbell hovering, ready to pounce should it get across the tee line. Not much he can do, and
No pouncing was required.
now Forsythe sitting 2. There is an open hit on for Jenna Campbell. As she tries to take the 3 off the table.
Well, she really has to hit this rock, Sean. To attempt to go around for another freeze would be even more risky than the previous shot. Not placing it correctly would be almost surely a 3. Can't afford to give up a 3 at this stage of the game. 2 would be a little not wouldn't be happy with that either, but much better than 3.
In the hands of the sweepers now. Remember, it is that swingy spot. Sweepers trying their best to hold the line. They gotta hold the line. Oh, by the skin of their teeth, they hold the line. It does leave, almost as expected, an open draw for 2 for Melody Forsythe. Just some discussion here between Forsythe and Carly Smith, where they want to put this stone exactly. Going to try with a little bit of backing, although quite honestly, if it comes into play, it's already gone too far. Melody Forsythe. Some high 5s to her front end. And now getting set. The hammer stone in end number 3. For a deuce and a 3-point lead. Sweepers off and on. Full 8-foot, what they're looking for. Full 8-foot, going a little harder now. Have to work at it. Full 8-foot, what they need. Full 8-foot, what they get. Have a look, but it will be 2 for Team Forsythe. And Melody Forsythe up to a 4-1 lead on Jenna Campbell. This is the 2023 New Brunswick Junior Curling Championship on the Curl NB Live YouTube channel. They're still playing the third end of the boys' game on sheet 6. We'll let you know after they throw the last stone how that end turns out. There will be a point or points scored by somebody in that end. We go back to our feature game. Kaylee Smith in the hack for Team Forsythe. She has been 5 times a provincial champion, like most of this team. Sweepers just coming straight off after the picked stone, and it will not quite get by hog line. Again, the picks coming at inopportune times. A potential guard off the board. Rebecca Watson lining up now for Team Campbell. Watson will be the lead on the Canada Games girls curling team heading to PEI next month. Also going to the U18 curling championships in Timmins. They'll get this corner guard up. That Canada Games team is going to be an interesting squad. We have 4 curlers playing tonight, going to PEI for that women's competition. 2 on each team. It'll be Melody Forsythe skipping, Kaylee Smith throwing now. She'll be the mate. Izzy Patterson, the second on Team Campbell, second stones, and as I mentioned, Rebecca Watson throwing first stones. And a good sweep getting this Forsythe stone top 8 foot. We look back and see Rebecca Watson again in the hack. From the Capital Winter Club in Fredericton. Olivia Winter, Izzy Patterson coming off the broom now. The line is fine, looking for a little roll under the corner guard. A little too much of a roll. It's in the open outside. And Forsythe sees another chance at a hit.
Yep, Team Forsythe being up on the scoreboard, things are easy for them at the moment. To just eliminate rocks and keep things at a low risk as possible.
First, second stone of the end. Can see the sweepers coming into the picture. They get by the guard. Have they held the line? Yes. Will they stick around? In play, but oh geez, it's hard to tell if that's in the house. We're just taking a look. Team Campbell looking at ignoring it as Izzy Patterson out of the Carleton Curling Club in West St. John delivering her first rock in 4.
I took a little walk there, Sean, and over to my left and tried to have a better vantage point for that rock, and I believe it's off the rings.
They're certainly playing like it's off the rings. This one is coming in a little hot. Melody Forsythe trying to help it as far along as she can. It will just bite the back 12. Deanna McDonald having a look in communication with her skip. McDonald, as I started to mention in the second end, the relative newcomer to this team. She joined back in 2018. The rest have been together since 2017. Joined the team for the U18 championships that year. They also won the U18s in 2020. McDonald went to the Canada Games in 2019. And this entire rink, all four of them, part of the 2020 New Brunswick Junior Curling Championships, represented this province ably at nationals. And a hard sweep trying to use the corner guard that was thrown up. They do need to get this to the paint, full 12.
Oh, it's a great looking shot. That's mostly going to be under the guard, I think.
You're right, mostly under the guard, sitting 1. We do have an update from sheet 6. That boys final we were telling you about, and it was a 3-spot. 3 points in the third end for Timothy Marine. Team Marine out to a 3-0 lead after 3 over Jamie Stewart. Winner gets the ticket to Rouyn-Noranda and the National Junior Championships. Izzy Patterson with her second. Trying to get the hit. Olivia Winter, Rebecca Watson.
Be careful in the back.
Just follow it up.
Oof.
Just collecting the back. That might prove costly a little later. But for now, it's Campbell sitting 1 and Melody Forsythe lining up another takeout. This is Carly Smith, the older of the 2 Smith sisters. You'll notice she curls with a prosthetic, still one of the best mates in the game.
She's amazing. I see that she is using that now. For many years we've been watching her grow up through juniors. She never used a broom at all. She slid without the broom. Perfect balance, perfect line, and a lot of shots made. She's amazing.
And they did get the hit and roll there, just to the side of the 12. Looks like Campbell asking Olivia Winter for another draw. Winter from Moncton, New Brunswick, out of Curl Moncton, skipped for the Mount Allison University team in Atlantic University Sport, where they placed 3rd in the conference championships last year. Sweepers really working hard, trying to get this into the paint. Will come up just short. Opportunity perhaps for Forsythe.
Most definitely. With one rock on the rings already, that short corner guard, she has a chance to go around this, lie 2, and continue to keep the pressure on Team Campbell. I feel that Team Campbell really needs to score this end, Sean. This is, they were leading in the tournament, won the first 2 sections, come off a bad game this morning, shall we say? Not their most desired game. I actually didn't watch how they performed, but they need to have some confidence to build up here shortly. They haven't started this game as strongly as they might have liked, and important for them to score in this end, whether it be 1 or 2. I think important for them to score.
Team Forsythe just came up a little short. Biffed the Campbell guard a little bit, not enough to put in the house. So now Jenna Campbell asking Olivia Winter for another hit. Izzy Patterson, Rebecca Watson, keeping it clean on the way down. And they will get the hit. Just get past that catcher at the back. Campbell sitting one. Again, wide out in the open. Forsythe and Carly Smith discussing the relative merits. Going for the hit and maybe a bit of a roll or drawing behind those corners. They have settled on the hit. Melody Forsythe, skip of this team Forsythe, are a remarkable thing in junior curling in this day and age. A team that's had fundamentally the same lineup for 5 years, 6 years.
That's quite true. There's a number of different players and different combinations as they play through the different age groups of U15s and U18s and U20s. So they have mixed it up a little bit, but you're absolutely right. These girls have been playing together for a number of years and achieving great levels.
They'll get the hit, not much of a roll. Forsythe still shot stone. Jenna Campbell now looking at a hit and roll. Looking at her first. See Campbell coming into the frame there. We'll see her face momentarily. Jenna Campbell, another curler out of the Capital Winter Club in Fredericton. She is next week going to be rivals against teammate Olivia Winter. Because while Olivia skips Mount A, Jenna Campbell skips the UNB Reds varsity team. And next weekend will be the Atlantic University Sport Championships in Fredericton, hosted by the University of New Brunswick and St. Thomas. Hit and roll the call. Both sweepers, Patterson and Watson, on it hard. They want to get that inside roll across. They don't make full contact. The shooter rolls out. The target stone doesn't. And it's Forsythe still sitting, giving Melody perhaps a chance to get one buried behind the corners with her last.
Yep. Team Campbell really needed to take advantage of that opportunity they had there. It was about a 3 or 4 foot roll behind the corner, and maybe they pressed a little bit too much to get that roll and forgot to make sure the rock left the rings. So they keep pressing, but I have full confidence that these girls are going to get over those first end jitters and early part of the game, and they'll start making some great shots here shortly.
Right now, though, it's Melody Forsythe hoping for a great shot of her own. She doesn't have the hammer, but she can sense a steal opportunity with her second in 4. Deanna McDonald, Kaylee Smith, light brushing, keeping it clean, trying to keep the path on the straight and narrow, but this one will be well short of the rings and gives Campbell the opportunity to either take a single or play for the blank. We did see this afternoon a team down take a blank end in 4 in order to retain hammer in the next end. That's what Team Campbell hopes to do. Olivia Winter holding the broom. Izzy Patterson, Rebecca Watson ready to sweep this. And Jenna Campbell on the backswing to her final stone. the Hammerstone in end number 4, and the sweepers are on it straight away. This isn't a hit, it's a draw. As it crosses the hog line, it needs to go a long way into the house. Sweepers really need to work this. They need a piece of the 8-foot. They need a piece of the 8-foot. They barely get a piece of the 12. And it is a steal of 1 for Team Forsythe. And a 5-1 lead. Forsythe leading Campbell through 4. You're watching the 2023 New Brunswick Junior Curling Championships, live streaming on the Curl NB Live YouTube channel. Sean Thompson alongside Jeff Stewart. We go into the 5th end, and really I'd say Campbell needs to score here.
Well, that was my advice in the previous end, and now they came up short on an important shot and down 1. That's a 2-point swing there, and we talk about momentum all the time, and it almost seems, I think it's in every curling game for sure. One team will get a little bit of an edge like this on a miss, and it's hard to stop them sometimes. So Team Campbell, just needs to step back for a moment and remember there's 6 more ends to play, and to calm down and basically forget about all of that stuff and play a good shot here.
First shot for Team Forsythe. Kaylee Smith will just bring this one into the house. Looks like they'll bite top of 4-foot. Ooh, just short of 4-foot. Jenna Campbell choosing to ignore for now. She'll get Rebecca Watson to put up a corner guard. Playing to perhaps the swingier side we've seen tonight. We'll place it just outside the 4-foot line. Just on the 4-foot line, in fact. And Melody will call for the center guard. Kaylee Smith as the front end, McDonald and Carly Smith working just to keep the line. It is looking good so far, but it will stay outside the house by the looks of things. Good rock as Team Campbell looks to use the corner guard. We do have an update on sheet 6. And the team with the hammer again getting 3 points. This time it's Team Jamie Stewart with the 3 spot in the 4th. Jamie Stewart, Timothy Marine tied at 3 going into the 5th end of their winner-take-all clash for the New Brunswick Championship. You saw the first 2 games today of that duel. The morning and afternoon draws. Right now you're seeing Melody Forsythe playing to keep the championship alive, take it to tomorrow morning against Jenna Campbell, looking to lock it up tonight. Campbell using the corner guard. Forsythe will try. Looks like a soft weight hit. Wouldn't you say, Jeff?
Yeah, it's the kind of weight you need to throw here. I'd say about an 11-second hit. We time the rocks from hug line to hug line, So we refer to 11-second hit because that's how long it takes between
they-
those two lines. And that's a great shot. She got most of the rock that she needed to get it out, and more importantly, rolled right to that button behind there. And let me tell you, Team Forsythe is on fire at the moment. They are really making everything that they can see. Team Campbell needs to make a similar good shot and get that confidence and good feeling rolling, score 2 in this end, and feel good about going into the 6th end coming up.
And the 5th end break.
Yes, exactly. So that's right here. It starts right here. I think every player is thinking, I need to make my shots this end and make them really well because Team Forsythe is shooting well today.
They'll get the peel and roll off to the side. It is still 2 Forsythe stones in the house. Melody indicating she wants the guard replaced. Deanna McDonald about to throw her second. The Smith sisters ready to sweep. Just keeping it clean so far. They don't want it to go too deep. They do want it to line up, though. Has it curled enough? Oh, it may just have at the end. It's still partly open, but Jenna Campbell taking no chance. She'll ask for the hit. The peel, more specifically. Izzy Patterson throwing the freight train down. Successful peel. And if you've been watching curling for any length of time, it shouldn't surprise you. Forsythe will try to replace the guard.
Yes,
Guard, peel, repeat.
and rinse again. The it does seem repetitive, Sean, that we see this commonly, but you know it's not all that easy to throw a guard.
Tell me about
They
it.
have to be exactly in the right place in terms of the length of the shot and the line. When they're up high, it leaves lots of space to come around. When they're in close, they're easier to run back. So they were looking for this one about halfway in, and it also needs to cover the guard, so they cover the rock. I see a little piece sticking out on the outturn side, but it's a pretty good guard.
Campbell having a look, and she is going to just peel the guard away. Olivia Winters first. Sweeping to keep the line. They don't necessarily want the shooter to stick around. And it won't. Peel successfully made. They'll take out the catcher in the back as well. And go figure, Melody Forsythe asking for another guard. Forsythe already stolen the 4th end.
She's quite happy to throw guards all the way to the end here, Sean. After throwing 2 or 3 of them, she knows exactly the right kind of ice to give for the shot, and it's really all about the weight put on the thrower. We see this one coming in a little bit tighter.
A little deep into the paint. Just get that little rub on shot stone.
That's really a mistake there by Team Forsythe, I think. They've allowed the double now to be set up. They had a nice 2 locked up in the 4-foot. And this double will permit Team Campbell to also stay when they're shooter. So then Forsythe will have to deal with that, open the shot rock. Basically the end is back in the control of Team Campbell.
Olivia Winter's second stone. And a hard sweep here from Watson. Patterson joining in. They look to get them both. They will get one out, push the other beyond the tee line. It's still Forsythe sitting 2. But a different situation. If you were Melody Forsythe, Jeff, what would you do?
Well, it's important to cover that number 1 rock. It's behind the tee line, and it's in a good spot for Team Campbell to come down and just sit in front of it. We've said many times that those rocks that go past the tee line become the opposition's friends, and putting a freeze or sitting in front of it would be a great shot for Team Campbell.
The team's taking a coach's interaction.
Yeah, it's a tricky little situation. So what's the best choice here for Team Forsythe? I'm in favor here. It's a little bit tricky because of those corner guards as well. If you position it around the top of the 12 foot near the center line, it allows a run back into the pile of yellows plus the roll. So that can be detrimental to the strategy. My favorite shot here, Sean, I think, is to come right in onto the top of the button, top of the 4 foot area, right in front of that other rock. Get in nice and tight. That way they prevent that hit and roll behind their corner guards. Keep the rocks where you see them. Team Forsythe is ahead by 4 points here. So, their goal in this end is to steal something or limit them to 1 or 2 and not to give up a big end. So that's my choice. Based on the ice that they're taking, I think it's similar. There's going to be some sort of guard in front of that shot rock, and I thought I saw her tap the 4 foot as to where she'd like to put it.
Four foot would actually make it shot stone. This is Melody Forsythe. First stone for Team Forsythe. First skip stone here in 5, and this is over curling something fierce. It may have picked something up yet again.
So this time the break has gone in favor of Team Campbell, as Team Forsythe has suffered one of those spots on the ice that grabs a rock, pulls it over.
Now the 2 shot stones for Team Forsythe in the house are just about level.
Boy, I
And
wish
there's just more than a stone's length between them.
I hope we get a telestrator with this system one of these days, Sean, because we could draw some nice pictures. I don't like any hit in this situation. I like because Team Campbell is red and down by 4 points. They have 2 choices, in my opinion. One is to go behind the corner guard and ignore those rocks. I think it's a bit late in the end to do that. I think put your rock in front of these other 2 yellows and hope for the other team to smash them, and you get a benefit of having that protection. Again, these rocks are your friends, so nestle right up to them, I like to say.
That doesn't look like what they're calling. Double takeout is the call.
Yeah, well, that's also sort of the safe choice, if you will. The double is easy, and that gets them out of the end here and possibly a blank, and they can build on another end later on. Playing the freeze, probably not going to bait an experienced skip like Forsythe into trying to play a hit. So Forsythe will then throw one on top of that, and now you're into a only get one situation. Always a couple of things to think about here when you're picking these things. Which shot can you make? Which shot are you going to leave your opposition? And how likely are they going to be to make that shot?
First shot, Team Campbell, 5th end. They'll get the shot stone. They'll get second shot, not removed.
It would be a situation where she needed more weight there, Sean, to smash that out of the ring. She may still be into a situation of being forced to 1.
Forsythe just working with Carly Smith, working out where they want this broom.
So if throw a soft one, we've seen this spot curl a little bit before.
Just a reminder, we are coming near the fifth end break. When the players break, we will too. And we encourage you to take a few minutes pause, refill your warm beverage, come on back and enjoy the second half of the game. Second stone without hammer for Melody Forsythe. Again, playing the firmer weight, counting on the sweepers to hold the line. And they will beautifully. Again, Forsythe sitting 2. And Jenna Campbell needing to make a hit to get something out of this end. Jenna Campbell was down to her final loss on championship day last season. She won 2 of 3 games, lost the third, and that handed the championship to Team Evans. Final shot. Fifth end, sweepers working hard, Patterson and Watson. They want to stick around the house, and they will on the nose. Team Campbell gets 1 in the fifth end, but it is Team Forsythe taking the hammer. And after 5 ends, Forsythe with a 5-2 lead on Campbell.
Fifth end break, round 4, 5.
We'll take pause for a couple of minutes. We'll be back with the second half of this exciting and potentially climactic girls game in the Under 21 Provincial Championships. You're watching them live here on the Curl NB Live YouTube channel. We'll talk to you again in 5. Welcome back, curling fans, to Thistle St. Andrews Curling Club as we begin the sixth end in this crucial match on the girls' side of the draw at the New Brunswick Under-21 Curling Championship. It is Melody Forsythe, team out of Moncton, with a 5-2 lead on Team Campbell from everywhere. 5-2, I say everywhere. Two members of the team are from the Capital Club in Fredericton, one from Curl Moncton, one from the Carleton Club in St. John. And the end starts off with Team Campbell. At this time, we'd like to recognize a few of the junior curlers who have made a significant contribution to this and past seasons. Yesterday was the annual New Brunswick Junior Curling Awards banquet. And at that banquet was named, on the basis of the entire season, all-star teams for the junior men and women, as well as all-star coaches of the year, as selected by the junior curling coaches of New Brunswick. The all-star women this year were lead Ashley Coughlin off of Team Sarah Gaines, second Deanna McDonald in this game for Team Forsythe, mate Marlies Carter from Team Lauren Price, and the skip Melody Forsythe of Team Forsythe, and the junior women's coach of the year Lorna Campbell of Team Campbell, as Team Campbell splits their guards there. The junior men's team of the year, the all-star team, lead Cameron Salage of Team Marine, second Austin Matheson from Team Robichaux, mate Raj Dalrymple, Team Marine, and Luke Robichaux, the skip off Team Robichaux. The junior men's coach of the year, Alex Robichaux of Team Robichaux. Congratulations to all those accomplished curlers for their efforts this season. Win or lose here this weekend, they have a lot to be proud of. And special thanks as well, as a corner guard thrown up by Team Forsythe. Special thanks and recognition as well. Curling New Brunswick would like to thank the graduating class of under-21 curlers of 2023, Kirsten Donovan, Deanna McDonald, Jenna Campbell, Olivia Winter, Carly Smith, Jacob Nowlin, and Rice Carruthers. We hope that all junior curlers will look back at their time, tribulations, and successes in these events, these junior circuits, with fondness and perhaps with a sense of nostalgia in the years to come. Sean Thompson again here at Thistle St. Andrews Curling Club. There is an open hit-on with a potential roll. Team Forsythe, Deanna McDonald in the hack. Looking for a hit and roll. Smith sweeping this one hard. Would like to get an outside roll if they can, and they'll get just the smallest of one. Still mostly open.
This is the end that Team Campbell really has to go for here with some good shots. They've got a great setup here for sure. The corner guards, last rock.
Team Forsythe with the last rock.
My apologies. But still, they've got something going here, and rocks in play is a good thing for Team Campbell. It's all about execution. Stay calm, get one at a time.
A very hard sweep on from the front end of Watson and Winter. They will get the hit, A little inside roll. Shot stone still mostly open for Team Forsythe. Indiana McDonald second. We do have an update from sheet 6. They finished and have finally posted the fifth end. Felipe Marine getting a single point in the fifth end. His squad taking a 4-3 lead through 5 ends on sheet 6. 8675309. They have started the 6th end coming back from the break. And this Deanna McDonald hit.
Very nice shot. Get around that guard nice and close. No roll. Stay right in that spot. Forsythe continues to execute very crisply at the moment.
And we are continuing to move up the sheet. Wasn't that long ago, Shotstone was on T-line. Olivia Winter just calling for a slight adjustment on the ice. You can see the broom now placed firmly on the center line. Winter with her first in the 6th. Sweepers off and on. They're trying to make it curl. They just clip it and just push it through. Lose the shooter in the process, but they will take an empty house at this point. Remember, Forsythe does have the hammer.
Indeed. They're quite comfortable to keep the middle open and to put rocks under cover and have them picked out and draw all the way. If they have to take one at the end, they'll be perfectly fine with that. Their goal in this end and the next couple are no steals. They've got a nice lead. They've got hammer at the moment. No steals is the team mantra.
Carly Smith in this rock took a hard left turn about halfway down. It's going to join the collection of corner guards, I think. Yes, indeed. So we are still looking at an empty house. And now Team Campbell with the chance to use those corner guards.
Well, I would pick a different shot here, actually, Sean. The thing about coming down the middle when you don't have the hammer in this situation, your opponent can hit and roll in either direction. So I would prefer the wide in-turn side behind the red guard would have been my chosen selection. And to come down and put it on a corner of the forefoot just underneath the word rich in slow, what's that? Slow, simmered, rich and meaty? And,
something like that.
Slogan for Wendy's. Wendy's is a big sponsor here at the Thistle St. Andrews Curling Club with the big logos on the ice. We appreciate their support.
And it is shot stone, but it is mostly open. Chance for a Forsythe hit and roll.
So this is the situation I was referring to where you can hit and roll to the right-hand side and underneath the red guard, which is why my advice would be to come around the wide side. We typically, if you draw through the middle of two
Sweepers
guards,
on this straight away. It is curling quite sharply. They need to keep it within the 4-foot line. They do get the hit. I apologize for interrupting there, Jeff.
No, not a problem. Just like to keep providing that advice about drawing through to the center of two guards. It's without the hammer. I think come around the outside is much preferred.
Jenna Campbell coming back for her first. Again, the hit the call. They would like to roll behind that opposite corner if they can.
Indeed. Yeah, it's about a 4-foot roll. Most of the rock exposed, right amount for sure. Probably more exposed than they need to hit, depending on how hard they hit it.
First skipstone in 6.
This would be a nice 11-second hit weight, I think. Looks to be a little bit firmer than that, but to make the roll weight I would choose.
And you could just see the rock jump on release. This needs to get by the guards. Oh, it just edges. Oh, but that may have worked out.
It did work in their favor.
Oh my, a lucky break for Team Campbell. Forsythe still has a hit, but it's in a part of the ice we haven't used much, certainly in this end.
Well, one of the things I would keep in my coaching memory at the moment is remember how much it curled way back in the third end by Team Campbell when they were a little bit soft on the weight. So got to remember that. We're on the same side of the ice. Wouldn't be too light on this one. All these things you need to think about as you're delivering a rock. Paths on the ice. Where does it curl? Where does it run straight? What happened in the previous ends? All sorts of things.
Melody Forsythe. Her first stone in the sixth end. Sweepers Deanna McDonald, Kaylee Smith on it straight away. They need this rock to move a bit. They will just clip it out.
But that's exactly the situation I was warning against, Sean, and I timed that one at about 10.7 seconds, which a little bit soft side for that amount of ice that she gave there.
And now Campbell with a chance to get one buried behind that mess of corner guards to the left. Try to force Forsythe to her one or even grab the steal. You would think at this stage Campbell would prefer the steal if offered the choice. Well,
Absolutely.
most of the time you would take that option. But the force rather than a blink, what would that do for Campbell?
Well, it'd still be a positive move because you get the hammer back and a chance to get a couple more. Keeping your opponent to one is always a good thing. The old adage of give them one, take two.
Sweepers are really working, struggling to save weight and line. Are they going to get by the guards? No. Are they going to roll on? No. And so in open house, facing Melody Forsythe with her last, they'll take the coach's interaction. And it looks like they may be going for the draw.
That's an interesting choice here. I guess it's an even end, and scoring in the even end is a good thing. I think I would personally throw this one through the house. They've managed their way through this end, and retaining the hammer I think would be a little more important.
Yeah, it is the sixth end of 10.
But everybody has a choice and a theory on these situations, Sean, and it also one other benefit I can think of. Oh, it looks like she's throwing the outturn and enough weight to make it a throw through.
Yeah, I just misjudged based on the way the broom was being held.
The benefit I was thinking of there is a chance to throw a draw and to keep in your mind what that draw weight feel is like. And Forsythe, I think, has been playing a few hits of late, and just a chance to do that. That would be the benefit there, I think.
A blank 6 then means the score is still Forsythe 5, Campbell 2 through 6. You're watching the New Brunswick Junior Curling Championships 2023 on the Curl NB Live YouTube channel. We'll tick over to the 7th end as the teams have just a little more conferencing with their coach.
Team Campbell's running out of time here to mount a comeback.
Running out of ends, at least.
Running out of ends, that's for sure. Lots of time, but running out of ends to mount a comeback and secure the championship and not be forced into that final game tomorrow morning. So they're probably going to be very aggressive on this end, I think.
We'll take a look. It is still Forsythe with the hammer. Campbell looking for the center guard with the opener, but the front end not touching this. Patterson and Winter, mere escorts. Rock will come to rest. Top of the 8-foot. Another hit opportunity for Forsythe. Kaylee Smith in the hack. Carly Smith, Deanna McDonald on it hard. Trying to keep it clean. They do. Roll over to the corner, stick around, force Campbell to deal with it. And they will try another center guard. We do have an update from sheet 6. That's the boys' final, Marine and Stewart, and it is a third blank end in this game. 6th end, no score, which means that the score so far, Marine 4, Stewart 3. They'll start the 7th end momentarily. In the meantime, this guard from Rebecca Watson will settle just alongside the center line.
And as I indicated, she ignored that one in the rings and wants to have that guard up front. So I think she really wants to be aggressive this end and attempt to really force the steal. She'd love to get 2 of them in there. That would be a great end.
Forsythe, meanwhile, looking to split the house. Kaylee Smith, second stone. Off and on brushing from McDonald and Carly Smith. They will bring this just about to the tee line, full 8-foot. And see how they line up on the overhead. As Campbell prepares to use that center guard. Izzy Patterson up now. Her first in 7. Weight a little strong. That seems to be the indication from the front end. Everyone just watching. The only sweeper ready is Melody Forsythe as it gets behind tee line. It will settle, biting the back of 4. And Forsythe will take the opportunity to start peeling off the center. Deanna McDonald, in one of her final games in a New Brunswick Junior Championship. She is one of the graduates I mentioned earlier. Fine peel there. Team Campbell taking the chance to try to replace it.
Well, it's a good place to put a center line guard with those 2 yellow rocks that are on either side of the center line. You know, appropriate distance in here, maybe about a broom's length off the rings, and that makes it a very difficult peel in either one of those directions.
Both teams, incidentally, just about assured spots representing New Brunswick at the Canadian Junior Championships in Rouyn-Noranda in March. The reason for that, you can probably explain this better than me, Jeff, but based on prior year's performance, New Brunswick earning 2 spots on the girls' side.
That's correct, Sean. Team Canada and some sponsors' assistants have decided to put a little bit more opportunity, excuse me, into the championships, both at the U21 and U18 level. U18, I think, maybe even has a few more teams. I know on the New Brunswick side, both boys and girls going this year have 2 teams going to the U18. In this situation, we have the 2 girls teams going to the Nationals, but only the single boys team. And that's because of last year's placement by our representative. Wasn't high enough in the standings to warrant an extra team. They have a certain allocation of the number of teams, and they award those based on the performance of the previous year.
Just want to mention that fantastic hit by Deanna McDonald, clearing off the guard and shot stone, rolling over to the corner. Jenna Campbell asking Olivia Winter just to sort of draw behind.
I think it's a hit and roll.
Hit and roll.
Well, with the center line,
That it is a hit and roll.
a near center line guard here, they're in a rock high in the house. There's a chance to eliminate a rock and roll over and under a protected area. So it's a good choice by Team Campbell. That's her experience shining through there.
They will get the hit, but roll too far. Shooter will just wiggle its way out of the rings. Still Forsythe with shot stone and the only rock in the house.
So it's a yellow rock out front, which is Team Forsythe rock. I believe she's indicating a back line, maybe back 8 weight, and attempted split of the rock up front. It's so close to the house that can be done, rolling both rocks on and lying 3. She doesn't need guards out here at all. 3-point lead and the hammer. She's in control of this game.
Carly Smith, her first in 7. And won't get the roll on. 2 stones grouped together on the side and a center guard. That is what is facing Jenna Campbell.
She's at a decision point here, for sure. Without hammer, although trying to be aggressive this end to score points, she needed to be in a good position to do so. With 2 rocks on the rings, that position is a little precarious. So she's trying to put a rock in front of these 2 and attempt to get a mistake by Team Forsythe.
Second stone from Carly Smith. Weight looks a bit much. They're trying to get it to curl. Trying to at least clip one of them, and they do. The roll will take it to the back 12, and that had what must have been a wicked pick. Just a little wiggle at the end. It is still Forsythe sitting 1. That red shooter just at the back behind the center guard. Second shot. A quiet weight tap can get to it.
Oh, definitely. This ice curls enough. There's, excuse me, close to 10 feet of difference there behind the guard. Out turn, about the edge of the 4-foot backline weight would be no problem to tap that out.
Now, do you think that's what Coach Tim is telling Melody?
Well, I think so. That seems about right. But I think the danger rock here, and he's reminding her, that is the yellow guard that's out front. You know, there's nothing wrong with removing that guard completely and running it back, maybe get rid of the red, or doing that split shot again, piling up the rings with yellow. This is a real opportunity in for Forsythe, with a couple of yellows on the rings and a potential to make a split here. That lone red at the back is going to get very lonely, and a mistake by Team Campbell would put a bunch of points on the board for Team Forsythe.
Carly Smith's second stone. They will get it by the guard.
So there was also an option play there, basically. If the rock was tight enough to the other guard, to make a split with that kind of weight, or you'll make the red. The problem with just making the red is she made it perfectly. Really helps out Team Campbell a little bit here because it's so far back and partially protected. If she can get a rock in front of this one, it will be. She'll have a chance to outcount all those other yellows, and 4-1 is still a possibility here for Campbell.
A perfect freeze would leave Campbell with shot stone without hammer. This is Jenna Campbell's first skip stone in the 7th end. Down 3 without. Sweepers at the ready. Here it comes. Again, looking for a freeze. Rebecca Watson, Izzy Patterson having a look, and that's most of what they're doing, looking.
No, it's a good looking shot. It's got a nice line. Speed looks pretty good. I think it's going to be right back in there. Nice.
It will come back. There is a couple of feet between the shooter, now shot stone, and that back yellow for Team Forsythe. Tap back an option.
Definitely. But scoring is the most important thing to do here. As good those yellows look, the most important thing that Forsythe wants to have happen here is that they hang another point on their side of the scoreboard. So sitting in front of it is a good shot. I think based on the ice here, it's pretty similar to the ice they use for the tap back weight, and I think that's the call. Approximately backline hack weight, and that red will exit through that hole.
Not too many worries about where the shooter rolls.
No, I don't think so.
Melody Forsythe's first shot, 7th end. Deanna McDonald, Kaylee Smith. Sweeping right now. Steady, trying to keep it clean, trying to...
Looks a little tight on the guard, I think.
Trying to get it past the guard. Oh, just. They will just clip the back, but have they pushed it enough? I think they may have. It is currently yellow sitting 3. And shot stone right on the back of the button.
The shot to play here, Sean, would be just to push it back about 6 inches. And the reason for that would be to have the protection of the rock that's behind you. If you try to take it out, you're going to be exposed in the open, and the other team's going to hang a 3 on the scoreboard.
Heck, even pushing it back just a little.
Exactly.
And having the proximity. A couple of inches would work at this stage.
You know what? A nose freeze would be perfect because that would really cut down, and Forsythe is likely to score only 1 here.
Last shot for Campbell without hammer in 7. Good brushing from Watson and Patterson.
Oh, it's starting to curl.
Trying to keep the line, trying not to over curl. They will get the bend. They will be shot stone.
I wouldn't be too excited yet. That's it's got no protection basically, and if Melody makes the same shot she did on the previous one, I see at least a 3 scored here and possibly 4.
Is it just me, or is that path starting to sharpen up, starting to get a little more curl into it?
Well, no, I don't think so. I mean, if anything, it's going to be a little bit straighter with that number of rocks that are going down the same path. That pebble's wearing off and likely to be a little slicker and straighter. They're just close to the guard on that. So she's got the same shot, and she's excited, I think. The key here, don't throw it. Throw the same thing you just did. This could be the ball game right here in this shot, Sean.
She makes this as a shot for 4, potentially. Right now facing one Campbell stone, just trying to push it back into the 12-foot. Melody Forsythe, hammer stone, 7th end.
Fair bit of weight on this, actually.
Even just the clip would do fine. They do need that clip, though. It does need to come over. Have they got it? Have they got it? Oh, that's mighty close. It looks like it's just going to be one yellow. One for Team Forsythe in the 7th when they had a chance to blow the game wide open.
I think there was a little bit extra weight there on that shot.
I know there was a little extra weight on that shot.
The shooter spilled over to the hack, and I think on the last shot, she was about back 12 weight. And that just made it run a little bit straighter and didn't get as much of the rock as she needed. So I think Campbell would breathe a sigh of relief on that one.
She'll get the hammer back, down 4, 3 ends to play. Hammer in the even ends, and there is the official posting, single point, end 7, 6-2 the score. Forsythe with the lead. This is the New Brunswick Junior Curling Championships 2023 on the Curl NB Live YouTube channel. We thank you for joining us this Sunday evening. Should Team Forsythe hang on, we encourage you to join us at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning here at TSA for the decider. It would be Forsythe and Campbell, winner take all, for the right to call themselves provincial champions going to Rouyn-Noranda. 10 a.m. tomorrow, the rematch should Team Forsythe hang on to win. Center guard to kick off this 8th end. Remember, these are 10-end games in the Junior Championship, just like any playdowns to a Season of Champions event. Rebecca Watson with her first. Patterson and Winter looking to help down corner guard the call. You should just see it peek onto your screen. And it will just get across the 4-foot line. We do have an update from sheet number 6, or we will in a moment. Team Marine in that winner-takes-all game gets the first steal of the contest, a steal of 1 and 7. And that makes the score Marine 5, Stewart 3. Stewart retains the hammer in 8. And it is a hard sweep into the rings. Getting behind that center guard, Team Forsythe trying to keep control of this match, trying to ensure that for this championship there is a tomorrow. Rebecca Watson second, trying to use that corner guard. at least put up a second corner. This one needs some help to even get across the center line.
At this stage of the game, Sean, we're into the 8th end, and the ice would be slowing down just a little bit. And teams should be used to that by now. With the 6th game of the weekend, this has been consistent.
7th game for these teams.
And consistent for most ice surfaces when you play 10 ends and you have 2 9-minute practices on that ice. So they should be expecting the ice to slow down by at least a second or so, particularly in the middle of the ice, where they are throwing rocks and sliding a lot.
Team Forsythe looking to just sling another one around that center guard. They will get to the house, just bouncing off a corner of shot stone. If you're Team Campbell, how tempted are you by the hit?
Well, I think you have to do something. Those rocks are in the 4-foot area, and there's an opportunity with a lightweight hit to take the first one out and roll over a little bit. I don't think she can roll very far, but if she just rolls in front of the other yellow rock, that'll be in a good position to be promoted later.
They are talking about the hit and roll just on that top yellow.
Yeah, I think that's my call. The other one I can think of would be to push that red rock that they just delivered previously that's closest to the rings over in that direction towards those yellows. That would also be a good shot.
First stone for the second, Izzy Patterson. Local girl to St. John. Looking to make an impression at the hometown spiel. They will get the hit, but the wrong way roll.
Well, they moved them off the 4-foot, and they also stayed around, so that's a pretty good shot.
Team Forsythe still sitting the 1 and still having the chance to use that center guard.
Sure. Good long roll here into the 4-foot area behind those 3 guards. I think I asked about a 4-foot rock before. I think that looks to be about 4 feet wide. Those 3 rocks.
Deanna McDonald here. Oh, this is quick. This is actually the hit.
Oh, absolutely. And she needs some weight here so that she can roll across and into the middle part of the rings.
That's not going to happen, and we'll clip the one at the back. Shot stone for Team Forsythe now ahead of the tee line. But just half a rock, maybe a little more in the 12-foot.
Team Campbell needs points here, and got a pretty good setup with these rocks. You don't really like to do this when you have last rock and be coming around guards in the middle, but they really need to now. Just 3 ends left in the game here. They need at least a 2, and a 3 would make this finish of the game very interesting.
Counterclockwise draw will come up a little short.
Oh no, it's it just rubbed on the edge.
It did. I thought for sure they were going to get more than paper on that. They do roll shot stone, top of the 12-foot. They are open though, and that's what Team Forsythe sees. Carly Smith in the hack, discussing from opposite ends with Melody Forsythe the shot options.
Very similar shot to the one that Campbell made just a couple of rocks ago.
Carly Smith, her first and 8. They're trying to get it to curl. They want to get a center line roll if they can, or hit the stone at all. Oh, bad miss by Carly Smith.
I'm trying to recall, is that the first miss that Forsythe has had this game?
It might be. At least among rocks that haven't picked.
Yes, indeed.
Olivia Winter, the Moncton curler on this Campbell team. I bring that up because starting February 8th, Curl Moncton will be hosting the New Brunswick Tankard, the 8 best men's teams in the province looking to represent Team New Brunswick at the 2023 Brier in London, Ontario. You'll see the action here on the Curl NB Live YouTube channel. Again, that tournament starting Wednesday, February 8th. They split the rocks, takes the double off the table here.
That's a great shot. Push the rock into the 8-foot, well behind the guards, and the shooter rolled lower than where the other rock is. So there's no double, but there is an opportunity to hit and roll back to the middle. And if Forsythe could do that, she might excuse the double instead.
No, wrong side roll. Will just sit there in the 12-foot. Still Campbell sitting one well-buried red. Remember, they do have the hammer here in 8. Olivia Winter offering her suggestions on the ice. Looks like they will be trying the draw. They must be careful as this ice slows down, however. Team Campbell looking to manufacture steel. They would very much like to be accepting the hardware tonight, thank you very much, but do have a bit of an uphill climb to get there. You'll see Patterson and Watson enter your picture. They're trying to drag it to the house, trying to get some curl too. They just get it almost corner frozen onto shot stone. Campbell sitting 2. There is probably a quarter to half a rock sticking out, Jeff.
Yes, but that doesn't make the double very easy, that's for sure. I think the easier shot to make the double, to get rid of these rocks, is, as you indicated, straight run back. It's only about 6 to 7 feet of distance. She should be able to make contact with at least one of these.
Now seems like a good time to remind, I am an amateur curler.
We all are, Sean.
These are elite level juniors. You, in the past, Jeff, have been an elite level junior coach. And I just know how to tell a story.
Okay. Here's my story. We practice nose hits all the time. And all you need to do is make a nose hit on the yellow.
And that is what they're trying. The turn is getting away.
It's perfect.
Indeed it is. The shooter will roll, have buried around the corner, shot stone.
So all that nose hit practice just paid off. When you go down to the hack, and don't think about the red double, you think about a yellow nose hit. So many rocks thrown in practice, and that's why we do it. That was a great shot.
Jenna Campbell will come back, high five Patterson and Watson. The draw is the call here. They need to get something behind those guards. They're still trying to build their steel, but are running out of rocks to do so. Sorry, build with the hammer. A deuce. Need to get this well buried. Patterson and Watson on it straight away. Patterson and Watson off and on. Object 1, get it to the paint. Object 2, get it buried. Trying to sharpen the curl with these sweeps.
That's a great shot too, Sean. Right, we're seeing them back and forth here now. You know, that was a nice shot by the Forsythe team for sure to make that double. But Team Campbell's come back with a very good shot here. And that guard's much farther away now, much more difficult. And Team Campbell should be pretty happy with that shot.
Now if you're Team Forsythe, you're up 1 without the hammer. You've got second and third shot. You're looking at a potential tap back or a push back. Don't even need to get the full takeout. And I think that is the shot they're calling. The risk, of course, you wreck on the guard. Campbell can get 2 if they make their final draw. And we have a lot tighter ball game.
Absolutely. There's a couple of ifs in that sentence, though, Sean. We'll see what happens in the next 30 seconds or so.
Forsythe without the hammer in 8. Squaring up for final stone in 8. Kaylee Smith, Deanna McDonald. Trying to make it curl. They have plenty of space on the guard. They do need to make it curl to hit something. Gotta hit something. How far can you move it? Oh, not quite far enough. Campbell is still shot stone and with a chance at that deuce. Jenna Campbell will come back. The positive encouragement. Looking at an 8-foot button to reduce the Forsythe lead to 2.
If Team Campbell didn't do this shot, that's going to be a positive upswing for them and a change of momentum. Their first 2 on the board, and would put them within 2 points.
Izzy Patterson on your left, Rebecca Watson on your right, ready to provide whatever help this rock needs, and it needs it straight away. Hard sweep from Patterson and Watson. Need to get 8-foot, ladies. Gotta get in the 8-foot. Gotta get in the 8-foot. It's coming in. Gotta get to the 8-foot. Gotta get there, ladies. Don't stop. Just short. And it's only 1 for Team Campbell. Forsythe might be breathing a sigh of relief. They get the hammer back in 9. Their lead 6-3 after 8 ends. This is the 2023 New Brunswick Under-21 Curling Championships on the Curl NB Live YouTube channel. Sean Thompson alongside Jeff Stewart. You can see the teams, their brief huddles with the coaches before going their separate ways to get this 9th end underway. Team Campbell now having to shut that final stone out of their mind. They still have 2 ends to make good things happen. And they'll start by putting up a center guard, again trying to build an end here. They know they're going to have to steal a victory. They know they're going to have to steal the victory, and here's Rebecca Watson with the first rock in 9. Patterson, Winter, offering what they can. It will be a high guard. I'll just get it across the hog line, straddling center. We have an update from sheet 6, where it was a close run thing, but only a single point for Team Stewart in the 8th. It is still Timothy Marine with a 5-4 lead over Jamie Stewart heading into the 9th in that winner-take-all boys game. Tickets to Rouyn-Noranda in March on the line. And this rock looking a bit heavy. Campbell trying to get it out of the house. It will hang around back in the 12-foot. As Campbell looks to put up another center guard. Again, Campbell trying to build a steal. She has to know at this point she has to steal the win.
Oh, absolutely, and they had the extra point in their pocket here just a few moments ago. Got into that little bit slow part of the ice again, and it came to a halt. So that was unfortunate, but these folks will never give up here. They're going to try to get this tighter guard and get 2 lined up in the middle. Certainly possible to get underneath that and steal possibly 2 here. I think that's sort of got to be the goal, 1 or 2. And if they're going to get this game back, they need to do that. Can't just steal 1 at a time. There's only 2 ends left, so that's a great shot right there. A long guard and a center one, or a close one, both on the center line.
You can see the close one in our overhead shot. About a foot and a quarter in front of the house. Forsythe with the lead in the hammer, content to play corner guards. Forsythe knows once Deanna McDonald comes up, they can start peeling. It's less a corner guard and more a corner draw. As this second stone from Kaylee Smith comes into the paint and will rest just a couple of feet in front of the first. As Campbell looks to come around those center guards with Izzy Patterson's first. Two very dramatic games tonight. We're happy it chose us over football. I understand it was a bit of a blowout in the NFC Championship game. Philadelphia earning their second Super Bowl berth in 6 seasons with the win over San Francisco. As the timer alongside us having a bit of a coughing fit, they won't get around that center guard. They'll just split a little. And I wonder, no, the split doesn't quite get the second one in the house.
No. But that's okay with from Team Campbell's perspective. They'd like to have the guards up there at this stage of the end.
Team Forsythe now know they can start peeling. Oh my, 9 a.m. The start of our first game was a long time ago. This is a peel. It is an easy make. Folks, if you're eating your penny candy, make sure it goes down the right way. Or or you'll end up like the Sheet 6 timer over there. Now their second stone, Izzy Patterson, her second at the end. Sweepers just looking at it. It has the line. How deep will it go?
Well, they decided to sweep it in a little further once it was gliding in.
Top of the 8 foot.
Team Campbell really needs a couple of misses out of Forsythe here to steal 2 points. You know, that miss could come in any different ways. It could be a tick on a guard. It could be a complete flash. But I think to steal 2 points, they're going to need at least 2 misses in this end, and especially the last rock. That will be very critical. So anyway, it's they never give up. They keep doing what they can.
Hit or the peel, either one is fine. Deanna McDonald's second stone. And they do get the peel. The shooter will roll out. Still Campbell sitting, no guards yet though. We do have an update from halftime of the AFC Championship game. Kansas City goes into halftime with a 13-6 lead on Cincinnati. Winner playing Philadelphia in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time.
So that update would be for curling fans who are partially interested in football?
Indeed.
Thanks, Sean.
And curling fans who want to encourage any spouses to get up off the couch. Football games in halftime, you're missing nothing anyway. We've got live competition here on Sheet 5. Looking to peel away the center guard. This is Carly Smith. First stone in 9. Well-made peel, and it will collect one of the rocks in the house as well. Roll to the corner. And it lines up the 2 Campbell stones in the house. We'll give you that overhead shot now. It is Campbell sitting 2 right now. That stone in the top 8, definitively out-counting the best Forsythe stone. And Campbell looking to put up another guard, protect their assets.
They're certainly starting to look pretty good for stealing 2 in this end, Sean, with this guard coming in. I think they've got the 2 that they need. Now they just need another miss or 2.
Melody Forsythe having a look. 3 years ago, she was perhaps a surprise winner of this tournament.
Well, I wasn't surprised, I'll tell you. These girls have been working hard on the game for many years, and with a number of different experiences in both youth and adult tournaments. I think they were ready to win a couple of years ago, and ready to win here again today.
Hard sweep, looking to get rid of the guard. They'll just run it back into the pile. Shot stone eliminated. Now I think we'll check the overhead, but it is now only 1 Team Campbell is sitting.
Yeah, that had a benefit of hitting the red in such a way that it became number 3. And that was an important shot for Forsythe for sure. I mean, a clean pick off of that guard wouldn't have been as valuable because they would have left the 2 shots in again. So I think they should be happy with that. I mean, again, Forsythe wouldn't be too disappointed with a steal of just one here. Key to not let them steal two. Looks like she's going to play the just freeze into the pocket maybe and try to lie a second one in there. I think that would be the choice. They really have to gamble a little bit and try to get that second one in. One of these ends, they have to steal two of them, so it may as well be this one.
Janet Campbell has come back, ready for the first skip stone in 9. Forsythe with the hammer. Campbell with the delivery. Light sweep so far from Watson. Patterson on it now. Remember, they're trying to find the pocket. Remember, the ice is slowing up. Are they by the guard? Not quite.
Just a little bit light. Just a little bit light.
Little short of the house, but they don't mind the guard at this stage.
No, it's still a very good shot. I think Team Forsythe's going to elect to run the yellow guard in here and instead of the red one, and attempt to move that rock off the 4-foot.
That does appear to be the call. Carly Smith lining her broom up in position. Melody Forsythe still has a year or two at this level. She's already going with half the other curlers on this sheet to the Canada Winter Games in PEI next month. Looking to add a trip to Western Quebec to the itinerary. Forsythe's first skip stone in 9. Gentle brush, they'll get a lot of movement, but not much of it good.
Look what happened. It pushed a rock into the 8-foot, and that's the 2 points that Jenna Campbell would like to steal in this end. She can get a guard in a good spot. This is going to make Forsythe a draw. And against that possibly slower ice, and in fact she'll be coming down the outturned side, which will put her farther out than the middle. The ice time will be really tricky, and this is where, in this situation, where the front end people, curlers, will have a real key role to play here by providing her some information on what speed the ice should be on that path. Surprisingly, they have that responsibility actually during the game to keep track of where rocks are being played and have some sense of a particular spot. The skips are often dealing with strategy and particular lines, and not so much the speed. And so anyway, first thing first, Team Campbell needs to get this guard up in front of these 2 red rocks to force Team Forsythe to do that draw.
Campbell's last chance to defend a possible steal. Sweepers coming well off.
It's curling quite a bit.
It is curling quite a bit. It rolls the top red almost entirely open. Carly Smith, Melody Forsythe having a look. Forsythe to the right, Carly to the left.
I think there's a fairly easy hit to give up a steal of 1 here, but I don't think the double is there, Sean. That first rock is tucked under the guard a little bit.
Coach interaction called.
Yeah, I think that's important. So the discussion I think that Coach Forsythe would be giving here. Would you like to draw against 2 and possibly have a steal of 2? Or would you just like to simply hit the front give up a steal of 1 and keep the hammer for the last end. You know, you keep the hammer and a steal as well, but I think a steal of 2 points here for Team Campbell will give them a huge charge into the 10th end, and that's a momentum shift that I think Team Forsythe would like to avoid. That would be my choice. There's lots of rock there to hit. I think coming down there with a pretty good speed, make sure it doesn't curl into the guard, and get rid of one of those red rocks.
Coach Tim Forsythe looking to use the full 60 seconds, it seems, of this interaction.
Yes,
as
definitely.
they finally break.
Oh, she's going to draw. Well, this is a difficult draw, I think. Key information is about the speed of the ice in this path. She's out far enough that the pebble won't be used as much out here, and could be a little bit faster, and certainly will be faster than down the middle. So perhaps a bit of a guess, but this should be an educated guess based on what they've done and experienced this weekend. So she'll be coming back to the hack to confirm the time that they think this is.
And indeed, that's why you can't see anyone on the home end side.
They're discussing the speed, and here it comes.
Final rock, 9th end. Melody Forsythe looking for a little better than full 4 foot to avoid a steal.
The line's pretty good here. It's starting to move into the slower speed of the ice, though, Sean. It could come to a grinding halt.
It almost needs it. It is starting to curl. Where will it stop?
Nice.
Right on the button. And that'll do it. It's handshakes on sheet 5, and for Team Forsythe, there will be a tomorrow. Final score, 7-3. Team Forsythe, Melody Forsythe beating Jenna Campbell. Both teams now with 2 losses. They will be in a final game tomorrow, right here on the Curl NB Live channel. Again, note the time, 10 a.m. Right now, as you can tell, we're going to cut over for bonus coverage of the boys' final. They have just started the 10th end, last regulation. Team Marine picking up 1 with a hammer in the 9th. Timothy Marine with the 6-4 lead over Jamie Stewart in this winner-take-all contest. We'll get the scoreboards reset. One rock already in center for Team Marine. I'll just knock it back a little, get some separation. Six to 4 the score, 10th end. Timothy Marine playing the red rocks. Jamie Stewart, the yellow, with the hammer. And the corner guard comes in. Team Stewart has been using a rotation most of the week. The constant in every game has been the skip. Constant lineup for Team Marine, though, will be Emmett Nee climbing into the hack, rather, wearing his characteristic hat. His team with the 2-point lead, coming home here in 10. A hard sweep from the front end. Cameron Salage, Rajan Dalrymple doing their best. They will bring it into the house. Just nudging second shot, rolling second shot self. It is Marine sitting 3. More than enough to take the championship. Remember, Marine and Stewart have faced each other 4 times already, winning 2 games apiece. They've bested all the other teams in the boys section of this championship. This is the winner-take-all in a triple knockout event. Jacob Nowlin. Trying to get something behind the corner. They get it beyond the corner. How deep can you take it? It looks like it's full 8 foot, and it is very close to second shot. Emmett Nee back in the hack. Timothy Marine looking to make that corner guard go away. Just a gentle brush by Raj Dalrymple. All they need, they'll roll towards the center. Added benefit of guarding the shot stone on the tee line too. Jamie Campbell, the skip of the University of New Brunswick men's curling team. Looking to freeze, it appears, right down to that Marine stone on the tee line. Josh Nowlin in the hack, his second stone. Siddall and Goodine. Hard on the broom. They've got to drag it as far as they can. They got to get by all that junk. They got to get by it all. And they will come down just short of the button. Still Marine sitting 1. And Raj Dalrymple being asked for Team Marine to get rid of at least one of the yellows. Marine hoping to run Stewart out of stones. Well thrown rock by Dalrymple, and they will get the 2. A double takeout, and Rajan Dalrymple getting some applause from downstairs that we can hear up. Don't know if the microphone picked it up. It is Marine sitting 4 with the only guard. Stewart has no rocks in play. They'll try the freeze again with Samuel Goodine's first shot. Remember, Stewart needs 2 points with the hammer in this 10th end to force an extra. 3 points will win it. But for now, Stewart would like a rock in play, please. Samuel Goodine releases the stone. Some good brushing from John Siddall. Jacob Nowlin. They're on it hard. You can hear the cries of hard. They've got to get it by this guard. They'll just wreck and roll harmlessly away. Well, Marine has at least 2, maybe 3 stones guarded. Shot rock now open in the 4-foot. Stewart with 3 rocks left, needing to count 2. Coach's interaction called. Timothy Marine will talk it over with Coach Felipe Marine. As Raj Dalrymple and the front end. Emmett Nee, Cameron Salage looking on from the hack. It is unlikely Stewart can get more than 3. I don't think there's any physical way to split that cornerstone just delivered onto the rings with the shooter spilling on as well. To say nothing of the challenge to get rid of the other 4 rocks. Marine deciding on a rock in the 8-foot. Just something that can guard at least half of shot stone. Dalrymple does not need to play a takeout here. It'll make no difference to the number of chances Stewart will have to force the extra. But he will try to make that attempt for 2 as difficult as possible. And this is coming in quick. This is coming in quick. Sweeper's not touching it. It will come in perhaps a little further to the right on your screen than you expect. It will go a little deeper than 8 foot. It will go onto the shot stone, moving it back about a foot. Marine sitting 5 with a 2-point lead without hammer. And Team Stewart in almost a desperate a state as they can get. They will take their coach's interaction right now. Looking at 5, needing 2. We have seen an improbable Jamie Stewart comeback before. We saw that in our feature game last night. Tim Marine had an 8-5 lead after 8 ends, after putting up a big 4 spot. But Stewart fought his way back, got a point with the hammer, got a steal, forced mistakes from Marine, and took a 9-8 win in 11 ends. Now he needs a bit more of that magic. This is Sam Goodine's second stone. And they are sweeping, trying to hold line, trying to hold anything. They'll hit the shot stone. Not enough to get it out of the 4-foot. Marine still looking like shot. And that Stewart shooter half out in the open. Tim Marine looking at Raj Dalrymple's broom, signaling a hit. Emmett Nee, Cameron Salage prepared for their task. As Timothy, with his first, hopes to bring Jamie Stewart to his final shot. And here comes the broom. Emmett Nee on it hard, trying to get it to curl. Now they're both trying to get it to curl. They do get the hit. They lose the shooter and the backstone, but that backstone really doesn't matter at this point. The job is to keep Stewart from scoring, and scoring 2. And Stewart has but 2 stones left. Jamie Stewart at this point needs the perfect freeze. And maybe a little bit of luck. He'll come back. T-line weight. Little more, nothing less. What's called for the UNB skip here. Jamie Stewart. First skip stone, and he hopes not his last skip stone. 10th end, down 2. The sweepers but spectators. Cameron Salage on now, trying to get it to curl. They need to be in the rings. They need to be in play. They need the potential for counting. They'll get the hit, roll the shooter away, and it's an open hit for Timothy Marine for the junior championship. Timothy Marine, in a position he has seen older siblings be in the past, having the New Brunswick Junior Curling Championships in his hand. Rajan Dalrymple is holding the broom. He's the teammate. Your sweepers. Lead, Cameron Salage on your right. Second, Emmett Nee on your left. Last rock without hammer for Tim Marine. Sweepers coming off. Do they have the hit? Yes, they do. There will be no need to throw the final stone. There will be no need to count a 10th end score. Timothy Marine. Coach Felipe. Third, Rajan Dalrymple. Second, Emmett Nee. And lead, Cameron Salage, are your New Brunswick Junior Boys champions for 2023. Final score, Marine 6, Stewart 4, and spare a thought for Jamie Stewart's team, who played so valiantly in 5 fantastic games. Skip Jamie Stewart. Third, Samuel Goodine. Jacob Nowlin in second. Lead, John Siddall. Noah Riggs, your plug-and-play alternate. And Daryl Nowlin, your coach. Truly a classic championship. We have seen some beauties between these two. And the shot that really broke open that last end, Jeff, that double takeout by Raj Dalrymple.
Oh, absolutely, Sean. That was the shot of the end. The rock didn't quite get into the tight position on the freeze that Jamie was looking for, so it left that double, and Raj made a beauty, as he often does. He makes a lot of those shots, and a big contribution to Team Marine's win this weekend. You know, as a proud father of the other skip of the ice, I gotta say, you know, Team Stewart and my son Jamie especially, you know, played really well this weekend. I'm pretty proud of them. And I'm also pretty proud of the Team Marine as well. And those guys are champions, and they responded today. You know, they took one on the chin this morning, got down a bit, but they won 2 in a row. So they played really well, and I congratulate them, and I look forward to seeing them play at the U21 Nationals. And I hope they bring us home a medal this year, because this team is really good. You know, they're going to the Canada Games, they're going to the U18, and now they're going to the U21. So guys, play well, play hard, bring home some medals for New Brunswick because you guys are good. Let's do it.
Timmins next month, then Summerside PEI for the Canada Winter Games. It's held throughout the island, but the boys curling will be in Summerside. And then in March, Rouyn-Noranda. If you are a teacher, a professor, a manager, anything of a curler on Team Marine, please be understanding. Your charge may be a bit busy over the next couple of months. A fantastic game. There will be a ceremony inside off the ice. I think all the officials and the coaches will be happy for that. We'll end our broadcast before then. First, I just want to say it reads like an old-fashioned tennis match before they had the tiebreakers. Marine defeats Stewart 6-3, 8-9, 7-11, 7-3, 6-4 in a championship that practically became a best-of-5 series. We'll be crowning another champion tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. as we will see a rematch. On the girls' side, Jenna Campbell and Melody Forsythe will be at it again at 10 a.m. We do hope you can join us then. It's Monday. You aren't doing any real work anyway. Why not spend it with us? On behalf of Jeff Stewart and our entire team here at Thistle St. Andrews Curling Club in St. John, congratulations to Team Timothy Marine, your New Brunswick Junior Boys Curling Champions 2023. We'll see you tomorrow to declare a girls champion. Good night.